I'm Matt.
I'm Karen.
I'm Ben.
And I'm a high school English teacher. Matt's a high school science teacher, and we are co-founders of DocentEDU.
So a couple of summers ago, Karen and I redid our school's curriculum to be 100% online. It was like all paper, old, very stale.
Horrible.
Some of the books as old as me. It's
Yes.
sad. So we redid it all. And we found a lot of really great tools that are out there, like Google makes a lot of great things. There's a lot of great startups that are out there too. But to make an online lesson that had everything that we wanted, it was kind of frustrating because we had to use so many different tools. There were a lot of separate logins. And if you're going to tell your students of, hey, we've got new curriculum, and you've got new logins, and you have to remember it all, and
It was frustrating.
order lunch.
And order lunch, and then it was frustrating. Then they didn't order lunch, and then you have a crabby kid. So anyway, enough about that.
Right, yeah, okay, so tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yes.
So we're going to be going home at about 2 o'clock this morning. Might as well just drive to school, and then we'll get ready for...
We might as well just spend the night at school.
We should get started on a lesson.
What's lesson plan right now?
So right now I'm teaching genetics in biology class because I'm a science teacher.
I'm doing like current events and arguments, and maybe we should just do something together.
Yeah, so
That'd
what
be easier.
are the new things you heard about?
I did hear something about Obama announcing something like about a new medical thing that had something to do with genetics.
Yeah,
like
all right.
Maybe that would be good.
Way to go,
thanks,
Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks. Yeah, we planned all of our meetings with him.
Do you mind if I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so one of the things that's really important to my students is that if I give them vocab right away, I have a really good vocab site that I use things for, but it'd be so great if I could just like put the vocab right at the beginning of the lesson.
Yeah, I use Quizlet because science is really bad with a lot of vocab words that kids don't know. And so, I mean, it's a whole new language. You have to learn all those things. Yeah, so if we could put it at the beginning of a lesson, that'd be really sweet.
And if they could do it in the article, that would be awesome.
Okay, so speaking of vocab words, though, a lot of times there'll be other words that fit in there. Like I saw in here, they talk about the Fitbit, and not all of my students will know what that is.
Yeah, like they don't have the background information, maybe.
Yeah, what if we could leave a note on there saying this is what a Fitbit is?
That'd be perfect. Like, Fitbit is a wearable health technology.
Yes, and now that sentence makes sense to everybody instead of them just ignoring it like they would have otherwise.
Like they would have otherwise ignored it. Yes, so I'm going to start maybe off with a question so we get them thinking. How about a question like, would you currently donate your personal information for science research?
Okay, good. So they start thinking about the topic.
And if we could do that in the text and they don't have to go anywhere else.
So there's no break from what I'm actually doing for the lesson.
No break, very flow.
All right, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so they're going along. So this is NPR's website. I saw that up at the top they had a good photo, but there's no video. And my students it'd be nice if they could just watch a video of it, and NPR left it out for whatever reason. So what if we just went to YouTube? I bet we could find that video and then put that video in the text, because some of my students are going to really want that.
That would be, and it'd be really nice if we just have it in the text. They wouldn't have to go anywhere else. They could watch it. I wonder why NPR didn't do that.
All right.
Come on, NPR.
Let's get some discussion between students.
Yeah, okay, so discussion. So, you know, that 215 million, that's quite a big thing. I think that would get my students going. How about, do you discuss whether the $215 million is a worthwhile investment?
Yeah.
I think they'd
Everyone's going to have an opinion. They want to talk about it. And since we're asking the question right after they read that text, it's going to be really focused, and everyone's going to have their opinion fresh in their heads.
Just the flow again, right?
I like that.
I
yeah,
like the
all right.
flow.
Okay, all right. So now they start getting into the technical stuff. That's going to be, my students are going to love it, but your students will be like, they're talking a lot about this DNA stuff.
The English kids are going to be like, DNA, I don't know.
I know of Concord.org. Is this great organization that has really great simulations, and they've got a really cool one of a DNA molecule, right? So instead of DNA being this abstract concept that we just hear a lot about, what if there was a 3D model that they could actually move around so it's not literally hands-on, but it's something more that they can manipulate, and they can kind of like modify things with the simulation. We put that simulation in the actual text itself.
That would be awesome. Are there any like videos, like crash course? Because that still might be too much for my English kids.
You're right. Okay. Yeah, they all love crash course. So let's put one of those videos in there so that, again, it's very visual. It explains it. So now they've got a really good understanding. So now everybody understands what this stuff is.
So far we have all this, and it's like right in the text.
Right.
Right in the text.
I think it's time to wrap up the lesson.
I think it is time to wrap up the lesson. So I want to wrap up the lesson again with a discussion. I want to get my kids thinking. I want them to, use, and if we could do it in the text, they could actually use the evidence from the text they're already in.
And you're not going between tabs.
And I'm not going between or anything. That would be amazing. So how about argue with textual evidence if this is a good proposal or not.
I'm glad I'm doing this with an English teacher right now.
I know, right?
That makes my life a lot easier. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we could have that at the end. And then students answer the questions right there, and they see everyone else's responses. That'd be fun. Back and forth.
Are we done?
Yeah. So I think tomorrow's lesson's done.
Done? That's awesome.
If we could assign that whole lesson with like a click,
that'd be perfect.
And just say I'm going to assign it to this and this and this, and then we're done.
And so then my students would see it. They'd just go to the actual NPR website and just click the extension. There'd be no confusing going.
It's a real thing. It's not some dumbed down education thing.
Yeah. It'd be the real relevant article. And then how would I grade it though?
So grading, I would want to have a dashboard that would go to, and that would show me like all of my lessons that I've created on there. And then from there, I could see like class rosters as well.
That'd be good.
And then I could do the grading, so I could grade either by question or I could grade by student, because it all depends upon what I'm looking for when I'm assessing their learning. And I guess that's what I would need. That would be really easy if we could do that, right,
If we
Karen?
could do that, that would be so easy.
Wow. Well, that would be great. Ben, why don't you tell us about the tech beat going on here?
Yeah, does this microphone work? Cool. So, this one? Okay. So what you saw was our Chrome extension, and we also have a bookmarklet for other browsers. Those were both made with JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. We are excited to announce that we are publicly launching our beta today. So you can go to our website. You can go to our website, DocentEDU.com, and you can sign up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you very much, everybody.
thank you.